Oh my god, it was a pain getting footage for this. For those of you who don't know what this video is about, because they just randomly clicked on this video in the recommended or because of autoplay, basically this video is about the Danganronpa 1 beta. To my knowledge, there's only one video about the beta out there on YouTube, and it barely scratches the surface about the beta anyways, just talking about some images. Since there's only one video on the Danganronpa beta, I had to do the very highly intelligent technique, thought only by Albert Einstein, the greatest of philosophers, which is Googling something and clicking on a bunch of stuff. My first thought to actually finding stuff on this was the best place to find content, which is the cutting room floor. But apparently, the cutting room floor has nothing about the Danganronpa 1 beta. Since there was barely anything there on the cutting room floor, I had to go to the cutting room floor's lamer, less cool brother, Unseen64. I also used Google image search to put in some other stuff that Unseen64 left out. Anyways, the Danganronpa 1 beta was so drastically different from the original, and Mr. Anime Fighting Games won't explain why it was so heavily changed, but they'll just keep releasing images and help for us to interpret it, which is so annoying. Anyway, some of the stuff that you would expect to change in a beta happened, like changing character designs and changing some of the story. But most of all, it was like drastically different. I've already said this, but I can't exclaim enough how different this is compared to other Danganronpa games. And people to this day are still theorizing which Danganronpa game took the most inspiration from the Danganronpa beta. And a lot of people say it's either Danganronpa 2, but guys! Anyways, for the sake of time purposes, I'm gonna call the Danganronpa 1 beta Distrust, because that's what it was originally gonna be called. Anyways, one thing that a lot of people know is that what came with the Distrust was Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc in the entire Danganronpa series, but it's also speculated that it also became Virtue's Last Reward. Doing a quick image search of Virtue's Last Reward, it looks like Danganronpa if Danganronpa took place in the Overwatch universe. Also, I mentioned this in the Danganronpa bonus video that you can watch, but in the original, the executions were originally meant to have real blood. It was like a blood fest. You can go watch that video because I included the real thing at the very end. And apparently I was wrong about the blood being an artistic choice, saying it wasn't an artistic choice being pink, because apparently the creator said that the reason he changed most of the characters and the blood was to fit Psychopop's art theme. So I think now is a great time to transition to the pre-release screenshots. So this one is just the Distrust logo, and it looks like anytime a student died, they'd be taking off the logo. This image looks like it would be really good in a Danganronpa zombie survival game. Oh wait, they already have one. It's called Ultra Despair Girls. Told you guys! It was basically just Ultra Despair Girls, the beta, the entire time. This shows an image of trusting Mizuno over Leon, because in Danganronpa Distrust, they had this trust and distrust system. Probably removed because it'd be so annoying to program it in for everybody. This one shows an image of the first ever death in the game. It's Mizuno killing Leon. It kind of makes sense that these two are in most of the screenshots because those are what most of the characters are modeled off of. And they're also the most cartoony looking. But I guess the rivalry has been around even before the game itself. Honestly, I think it's just me, but I'm pretty sure that Mizuno and Leon were originally supposed to be the main characters of Distrust. As you can see, because they're in most of the screenshots, and they're witnessing one of the first deaths that wasn't them. Here is a character select screen for Distrust, and oh look, there's an early version of Monokuma with these little bear paw things at the end of his hands and feet. But this thing was probably removed again because it'd be way too hard to program a different story for every character. Here's an image of what looks like to be the first death, and it looks like it would have been Kyoko instead of Mizuno. And apparently, between the time of Leon's death in the beta and Kyoko's death, they were battling between pink blood and regular blood. This one looks pretty similar to the previous image, but instead we get to see the way Kyoko would have died. We get to see Monokuma probably explain the death with a guillotine, and then we get to see how the court trials would have played out. And we also get to see that weird robot that knocked out Yamada in an early version. As well as an early version of Fujisaki, who looks more like a church choir boy than I expected. This one's an interesting one. It looks like an early version of the Truth Bullet from what it looks like. Probably removed because, like, it would be kinda hard to program, like, both languages of a truth bullet, because it's just words flinging at words this time instead of an actual bullet. This image shows how your character would probably react if they trusted or distrusted a character. And I still really want a game like this where you can trust and have a trust and distrust system. Honestly, it's still a pretty cool idea for a game that still hasn't been done. Well, there's not much I can say on this image, like, with given little context. In my opinion, it kinda looks like the amount of students who would survive depending on who you trusted. Again, I got no idea what this image is saying, but it kinda looks like, given the blue and red text, it kinda looks like how a character would react if you befriended them or didn't even trust them at all. To me, this image looks like that the icons would change depending on how much you trusted them, and the text that says next, it looks like it'd be whoever is most likely to kill the next person. This image looks like the way a character would have reacted, like, before they died. And now at the bottom image, it changed my opinion of me thinking that was Kyoko being the first one to die, and looks like Fujisaki what might have been the planned first person to die. Come on, you guys all know what this is for. It's basically how Leon's execution will have played out. But I don't know what the Mega Man boss rush thing on the top left is for. Anyways, this does kind of remind me of the way the mangas played out the way they died. This is just the same thing with the Mega Man Select screen, except with other images we've seen before, and I still can't read this text. I got no idea what to say about this one. This kind of looks like a Japanese translated version of the original Distrust logo. And now it's time for the part that you guys have probably all been waiting for. And you guys have probably all been asking, well, if the game is so dark, how dark is the map? Well, this is what I have so far in all the images that have been known about it. Now this image to me, it looks like you could just get random little things on the map just to look at, just to see a little part of the Danganronpa world, which is honestly pretty cool. This looks like the first person who would have died, and then all the possible killers, but for some reason I don't know why there's a small person in color while everybody else is black and white. This one shows a dark, gritty, and mature school, and kind of the original setting, and I still really wish we got a setting like this, like with the original Danganronpa playstyle. Honestly, there's not much I can say about this one. Or this one either. I mean, like, I have no idea what says in any of these images, so I can't really judge them. So anyways, that's all for the background, so I feel like now it's a good transition to go into the character designs, because these are a lot different compared to previous games. So let's take a look at them. This is an early design for Toko, and I'm kind of surprised that we ended up with this design as one of the earlier ones, instead of the librarian, like, tall person look that we've ended up with. This one is more in line with the Toko one, but I have no idea what's going on in the right image to the right. This is one of the earlier designs for Nagito, and I'm not gonna lie, I kinda like it more than the actual Nagito. It's kinda like how the Mewtwo Strikes Back, everybody hates it, but I actually really like the design. This design we've seen before, it is the early design of Fujisaki. I'm pretty sure we've said this already, so let's move on to the next one. This design, on the other hand, is not as clear as Fujisaki's or the other ones. If I had to guess, I'd have to say it's one that is Kyoko. This looks like an early design of Asahina, and I'm not gonna lie, I actually like this design. This is an early design of Celestia Ludenberg, and it looks like not much change. This image shows that Sakura was originally meant to be a guy, and really, is anybody surprised? This image shows Sakura with a more feminine look, and honestly, in this image she looks like a trap. This looks like an early design of Ishimaru, and honestly, if you showed me this instead it was a cut Naruto character, I wouldn't flinch. This is an early design of Owada, and honestly, he looks like an early design of Nikomaru. This one's an early design of Togami, and honestly, I kinda don't like the anime pretty boy vibe he's given off. And last but not least, Black Enoshima. Honestly, this is one of the few designs I still like, and it's actually pretty cool. Psych, they scrapped it for this design.
Now, I don't hate this design, but, like, the other design was way more unique than that one. Honestly, I feel like that should have been the final design for Enoshima, and we still haven't gotten a Black Danganronpa character yet. You know all those really unique different designs of Monokuma? Well, this is how he used to look. Yeah, something just confused me that this design was even considered to be Monokuma. Remember when I said Danganronpa characters go through a lot of designs? Well, even Monokuma did with these, which was apparently he was supposed to be a gas mask child, and honestly, I actually really like this design. I don't know, but something about these designs, it just, yes, while I like them, the old designs, while they look better, the new ones have a lot more charm to them than the old ones. Even Monokuma, one of the most iconic anime characters or animation characters, went through a lot of design changes just so he could be the Monokuma we all know. Anyways, I'm finally done with this. Oh my god, it was a pain getting stuff for this. I said this earlier. Like, it was so hard to try and find stuff for this. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Honestly, I sure did. But anyways, yeah, make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed. If you did enjoy, leave a like. And goodbye.